a union is founded and based upon the notion of the collective and what we can do for the group, in all of that, there's a great opportunity for individuals to learn and find a variety of very productive ways to express themselves and to do good work on behalf of their peers, which they might not otherwise have the opportunity to do.
I see us as kind of the lobbyist of the worker, right? So, I think that there's a lot of misconceptions about unions out there, and I think it's a big part of our job to kind of fight against those.
The responsibilities of a board member are some of the highest leadership roles of our organization. The decision-making of our organization.
Certainly any member has the opportunity to become a board member by simply putting their name on the ballot and running for election.
I've always been very union-oriented, and I like the idea of the whole as opposed to the single. Our parents always kind of set us up for our futures to make sure we were set up and taken care of. And I think that as our generation progresses, we need to start stepping into that role more. So we need to make sure that we're setting up the future for our children, but also that we're setting up the future for our peers and our elders as they move on into their retirement and stuff, and make sure that everybody is comfortable with where they're going and that there's no regression, that we keep moving forward.
It's fairly simple. You just have to have a desire to want to be involved. You don't have to have big qualifications. You don't have to be able to have real nice fancy clothes. You don't have to be an excellent public speaker. You don't have to have any of those skills. You just have to have the desire to want to do it. So when you apply to go on the board now, you just have to get people to nominate you from your area. And then you send in your bio as to why you would like to serve as a board member representing the area that you're in. You do some campaigning and then the election is held.
The process to becoming a board member with HSAA can go from a member who's never had any involvement before, and the election call comes up. They get 5 members to sign a nomination form for them, and they can get elected by that means.
If you were going to want to do this role, to maybe consider why you would be interested and what your goal is. For our members, we are their voice with the employer. We are sort of their voice often with the government. We advocate on their behalf.
The most rewarding thing is actually getting out to meet with members in my district and learn what they need and learn what they want from their union, and then take that back to the boardroom and try and act upon that.
I have so much more knowledge now than I ever have before, and I find that the knowledge that I've gained since being on the board, whether it be going to an education session or having a meeting or reading some literature, I also use this education in my everyday life and in my workplace to deal with issues, to problem solve, to deal with patients at my work. It just filters out to all aspects of my life.
When you come to a board meeting, you definitely wear more than one hat. You wear the hat of your profession, first of all. You also wear the hat of the work site you're at, the local unit you're from, and then the district that has elected you to be that board member. But all those hats have to actually blend into one big hat, looking at the organization globally.
Be yourself, make sure you know what your values are, and get out there. Shake hands, go meet people, actually be out there so people can meet you and they know that you're not just a face on a piece of paper. Get involved, be involved, show them that you're interested and you want to represent them to the best of your abilities.
We become a bit of a family, and families are interesting dynamics. We always come away with the membership as our goal. We work for them, and when we leave the boardroom, we come as a unified group.
Definitely very welcoming and warm. It's easy to go along with, everybody's very open, and if you ever have questions or need help, they're quick to help you and ready to step up to make sure you're successful in what you're doing.
If you don't get involved as a union in the bigger picture context of public discourse and advocacy work and politics itself, that those abilities for the union to actually achieve the things that I thought that they were there only to achieve will wither and die unless you actually fight for those rights on a grander scale.
It has made me a much more well-rounded person, a much more open-minded person, and a person who wants to keep giving, because there's so much more to give.